What's up, my home dog G skillet, bacon fresh out the grease, Kimbrough sizzling so hot, nobody can touch us. How y'all doing out there? I'm just chilling here on the couch. I got to, because I'm tired. Yep, I've been running all over the streets of Mesquite talking a bunch of smack about how well us cats are going to do on the upcoming reading TAKS test. Yep, I can't wait. Now, before I went out all over the streets of Mesquite talking smack, I did some studying. I looked over our latest benchmark scores, and I was pretty impressed. I gotta tell you, I think we're gonna do well. I just want to make sure every person gets commended performance. So I got a few tips I want to go over with you. So listen up. Okay, the first tip is be sure to read the title of each selection. Think about the title and try to make some predictions about why in the world the author chose that to be the title of the selection. Okay, cats, the next tip is to scan the questions before you read the selection. When you scan the questions, you're just trying to get an idea of what the selection is about. So do that before you read the selection. Finally, you're going to be ready to read the passages. Yeah, read the passages. That's what I'm talking about. This is where it gets good. Now, one of the most important things you must do while you're reading the passages is stay engaged. Stay engaged. Do you know what that means? Let me break it down for you just in case. Okay, peeps, staying engaged means you got to use your imagination. It means you got to put yourself in the selection. You got to get there. Otherwise, you might find yourself going on automatic pilot during the TAKS test. Do you know what that is, automatic pilot? Let me break that down for you too. Automatic pilot is when you read the whole selection, and when you get to the end, you don't know one thing about what you read. That's automatic pilot, and you don't want to be on automatic pilot. So, stay engaged in the reading. Use your imagination. Another way to stay engaged is to write short notes in the margin as you're reading. This just keeps you awake and focused on what you're reading. So, don't forget to use your imagination and take notes on the side while you're reading. Uh-oh, now it's on like Donkey Kong. That's right, it's time to answer those questions. This is the good part. Now, the first thing you need to remember when you get ready to answer the questions is to read each one carefully. You gotta know what you're looking for to get the answer right. So make sure you read each question to know exactly what they're looking for. Now, for the next tip. Several of the questions may be about literary terms. Make sure you know your literary terms. Those are words like mood, tone, plot, setting, simile. You better know those words. If you don't, get your tail to tutoring. Oh yeah, and some of the questions might be a little harder. For example, they may ask you to summarize a passage. In that case, make sure you read all the answer choices. Look for the one that has main ideas about the beginning, middle, and end of the selection. Don't look for details. When you're looking for summaries, you always look for main ideas from the beginning, middle, and end of the selection. And cougars, don't forget how much time we spent on Objective 4. The one about drawing conclusions, making inferences, and generalizations. Yes, I know, those are the hardest questions, but you'll do fine as long as you remember. A conclusion is a decision you make based on information that is provided. So, you must have evidence in order to draw an accurate conclusion. It's kind of the same with inferences, You must have reasons to support your answer. Always go back to the passage to find your reasons and your evidence. As far as generalizations go, just remember, those are broad statements about a group, and they're lacking facts and specifics. For example, if I said, all boys are goofy, that would be a generalization, because I'm making a broad statement about the entire group, but I have no facts or specifics to prove what I'm saying. That's a generalization. And another thing, when they ask about main idea, make sure you go back to the selection and reread the paragraph. You better take the time to do it. Don't let me down, fool. I've been talking a lot of smack on these streets of Mesquite. We gotta ace this test. And I'm sure we'll all do great, as long as you remember these tips. Oh yeah, and don't forget the obvious. Go to sleep the night before the test. Get some rest. Wake up early enough to eat breakfast. Get your grub on. And when you're taking the test, pace yourself. Take your time and double check your answers. Peace out, my home dog. I know you're gonna do great.